How we doing? Obviously not the outcome we wanted. Again, our guys continue to fight. We got down 28-7, and I watched a team that just kept going after it. And again, we put ourselves in that spot where we were down, didn't play as well, and did some things on defense in the second quarter. We were able to right those things at halftime and play better on defense. Offensively, made a few plays early, but not consistent enough. And then had some turnovers in the second half that would have gave us an opportunity to be in a little bit better position. We got to continue to address that and get better at those things. But again, it was disappointing because we wanted to win the game. You know, we wanted to go and win a football game that we thought we had a great chance at. And again, I give Indy the credit; they did a good job. You know, they held us off and they did some good things. So we're going to keep growing, keep getting better, and keep coaching this football team.
How do you fix the receiver position? It looks like that position just killed you yesterday.
We just got to keep coaching them, keep working at it. We got guys, you know. We just got to keep doing the little things and doing them better. And again, it's a group that I think comes in here every day to work, and we just got to continue to take what we do on the practice field to the game field.
What happened in the second half defensively? It looked like almost a different unit. 260 yards in the first half, 28 points. Second half, just 3.75 yards. What was the big change on that side?
I just think we made some adjustments. You know, I think Greg and the defensive staff made some adjustments to do some things differently. Again, you know, we didn't see T.Y. running as free in the second half as he was in the first half. So that was a huge adjustment that we made and was able to get that accomplished. That gave us a chance in the end to have an opportunity to win the game.
Are you worried about the psyche of your team at all, the losses?
Well, I mean, none of us like losing. There's a human element we all deal with. I mean, let's be honest, that is there. But I think this team is very resilient, and I think they'll keep working. I know they will, and I think they'll keep coming in here getting ready to go. We got a big game this week, and I think we all recognize that. But these guys are pros, and they understand what their job is, and they understand what we need to do. So, but I'm not going to tell you that I don't think about the human side of it. As a head coach, that's something I do have to think through with our football team.
Does this feel like a crucial stretch here? 2 home games, Cincinnati, New York.
I think for us, every stretch is crucial. You know, I just think, you know, obviously, but being here at home is good for us. You know, playing Cincinnati, and then, you know, I'm just going to take this thing one at a time. You know, that's what I want our team to do. But you know, this is a big game for us this week because it's the game we're in, and it's here at home, and it's a division opponent.
I know you don't make all the personnel decisions, but the continual rebuilding with youth, the emphasis on future draft picks, releasing certain veterans, it kind of continues to point to punting to the future. We're going to win in the future. Can this team win now?
I think this team can. I think we got to do some things better. You know, and work a little bit harder and making sure that we do some of the detailed things right. But I think, you know, that question that you just asked, I think that's something you got to talk to Sashi about in the executive teams.
Have you urged them to perhaps really look on other teams' rosters, not maybe only for a receiver, but last year you guys were able to land a Jamie Collins. Are you hoping that there is some magic person riding?
Barry K, my job is to coach the guys that are here with our football staff. And that's what we're going to do, you know. And I'm sure that our executive team is scouring everywhere, looking at who could potentially help our football team. I mean, that's what they do. So I'm sure that that's being done.
Did you see anything that make you think the run offense is getting better? Because you talked about how that has to be a collective improvement.
Yeah, I saw the first play of the game, ran for 10 yards. That was huge. And I saw some other runs a couple of times pop through. I thought Crow was hitting it extremely hard. Just, again, you know, when you get behind like you do, again, the game changed, you know, and that's part of it. We're going to do everything we can to win the game. As I said before, it's not just the running game or the passing game. What do we think it takes to win? You get down 28-7, the game changes. So we had to play the hand we're dealt, did some things to get back in the game. But we can't, you know, be playing from behind that far behind and think, here comes the run game. You got to do what you need to do to get your team back in the game.
I know
pass interferences, were they legitimate calls, or what did you see otherwise?
We'll see. I mean, we'll petition the NFL and see what they think. You know, I think you know, some of them were things that we need to understand better. But I'd be interested to see how they saw it.
Yeah, but you know, with that, after the first couple that you were probably, what are you talking about? Then did you talk to those guys and say, look, this is what they're calling today, so don't do this?
Oh, I've talked to the official, but I mean, again, like I've talked to our players, I've talked to the official, I talked to everybody involved. I mean, these are not new plays. These are the same things we've been running since training camp. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you that our players are at fault. I would like to, like I said, get the ruling back from the league and see what they say, because some things I don't agree with.
Yes, I understand that, but my question is this: after the first couple that you just,
it's been, the players knew. Make sure you watch it. We had another play right down in the scoring zone where the ball went over Crow's head, where Seth was running down inside. Same play. We didn't get called. Looked the same to me. There was no call at all. So I think our guys were definitely on top of it after they've been called a couple of times. No question about that.
Taylor took a lot of heat for the 61-yard catch and run by T.Y. Hilton for what happened over there on the sideline. What's your take on how Jamar handled that situation?
Again, I mean, I don't know how he handled. You talking about the play itself?
About, you know, he's taking heat, as some people have said that he gave up on the play, and he's been taking a lot of heat for that.
Right. I think, you know, again, Jamar is a captain on our team. He's a captain for a reason. So I know Jamar extremely well, and I don't think that he was trying to give up or not play hard or any of that. I think, you know, for a second there, maybe somebody felt like the guy was about to be down and be out of bounds. I think there's some things that he will do differently as we go. But to say that he wasn't trying as hard as he could, I didn't feel that or see that.
Coach, we talked about the psyche of the team here a moment ago. I want to talk about the psyche of the fans. Obviously, winning would help enthuse the fans more.
Absolutely.
But now there's these demonstrations, the kneeling. That's also creating a divide, particularly amongst the most patriotic fans. So, what do you say to them from your standpoint?
Well, you said the first thing, winning, and that's what I can control, you know, the winning part of it. I think our organization did a great job yesterday of putting a statement out about how we felt about that, and I'm going to leave it at that. You know, I think that's, we've spoke on it. I support what we feel and what we've said about it, and I'll leave it at that.
Deshaun was pretty hard on himself after the game yesterday, you know, assuming all the blame, didn't care about drop passes, didn't care about what the defense did. All he was concerned about was he turned the ball over twice. How do you feel about, you know, your rookie quarterback kind of assuming all of that responsibility for the loss?
Well, you know, there's a part of that I do want him to assume, because I think he knows that the buck starts with and stops with him. But also recognize, and he does too, and it's my job to show him that everybody plays a role in it. It's not just him. You know, he's got to do his part, and he's got to do it better. We have turned the ball over quite a bit the last several weeks, and we can't do that if we want to win football games. That's part of something that we're talking about all the time. We got to take care of the football, and we got to get more turnovers away from the other team's offense. So I do get that. I mean, he's a guy that wants to make sure that he's out in front and wants to handle things correctly. But I don't want him feeling like everything's on his shoulders. You know, he's got to do his part and do his job better, but we all around him got to do our job better too.
About his decision-making, it seems like at least the majority of the interceptions have come more on poor throws and poor decisions. Would you agree?
Yeah, I don't think it's the poor decisions. You know, I think, you know, when I look at it, I think he's got to understand the situation and where the people are. So the decision is not what it is. The ball is going to the right person. The ball is just not in the right spot, more so than anything. It's not decision related. It's probably accuracy more, making sure that the ball goes at the right person at the right time. And again, I'll say this, you know, the one in the scoring zone, again, it's time on task with a guy in a spot that maybe should have been in a little different spot, and you think he's going to be in a place, and that's what we got to fight against, you know. Again, we just got to continue to work in sync together so that those guys are always on the same page.
Just under 3 minutes to ago, Indy got the pass interference. I think it moved to like the 23 or so. Did you think did the thought maybe cross your head at any time to hurry up, maybe get the 3 points there?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we needed a touchdown and a field goal. You know, we needed both, you know, and how they were going to come, we were going to take them, you know. So, but we had a chance at that time, obviously, to score a touchdown. That's what we did.
The second interception, was that one you thought Rich should have caught?
Again, I don't want to get into if he should or shouldn't have. I mean, my thing is, if there's an opportunity to make a play for our quarterback, let's see if we can make it. And I think that's what's important. And I think Kenny tried as hard as he could. We wasn't able to make it. And the one thing we know in this league, tip balls don't find the ground. They find the other team. So we got to find ways to make the play, got to find ways to throw it a little better, all those things. So we got to work better together.
How did you come out of it health-wise?
Good. I think there's no new injuries to report. Obviously, Jamie is still in concussion protocol. You know, and I think Sammy with the hamstring, we'll see where that is and see how that progresses this week. Miles is doing better, you know, so we'll find out more about him this week as well. But outside of that, there's nothing new to report.
Do you expect Miles to practice?
We'll see. We'll see.
We ask you every week about receivers and play time, changing up that rotation. Do you feel hamstrung that there's not much you can do?
I'm not. Again, I think we have the group we have. I think these guys are working hard and trying to be the best they can be. And so we're going to keep working with these guys. We're going to get them better. We're going to make sure that when we go out there, our next opportunity, that we can go out there and play even better than we did this past week.
Were you surprised in any way that Ricardo sort of struggled so much in this game? Because, I mean, he had looked like he was stepping it up a little bit, had a pretty decent camp. I mean, it just was a bad game for him.
Mary Kay, at the end of the day, these guys are trying the best they can. And so what we got to do is continue to put them in situations so they can have success and get better.
Good. Do you think Hue Jackson is getting as many touches as you want? Or does there need to be more of an effort to get the ball in his hands?
More of an effort? I mean, trust me, that's because you guys see him making a bunch of plays. Just give him another 10 opportunities. I get it. Trust me, we're trying. I mean, I think the other team knows that he's a guy that's making plays, so they're going to do everything they can to take him away. So Duke's done a good job, made some huge plays for us yesterday, and working at it. And, again, he'll continue to make plays for us.
What can you do about the penalties? We saw you in training camp. I mean, you guys run laps, up, downs, but you guys now lead the league.
Right. Well, again, you know, the OPI calls were different. You know, that those were some different penalties. We had another personal foul penalty that, you know, was kind of close. I think you guys seen the late hit on the quarterback. I mean, I thought that was kind of different and questionable. So, again, I mean, I think our guys are trying within the rules, and we talk about the rules and what you can and can't do all the time. So we just got to coach it better, and our players got to understand it better, because there's some things that I think is really borderline and on the edge that we're getting called for that we got to understand better.
When you see who the official, what the crew is, do you say to yourself, there's going to be a few more flags than normal here?
Yeah, well, we take the team through it on Saturday or Friday. We show them who the crew is and exactly what they've called, you know, what their crew is known for calling. So we try to give them an idea of what's coming, you know, and we were kind of well outside the scope of things yesterday, that's for sure. So we'll continue to do that, continue to educate our players on what the crew is looking for, and see if we can get that part of it better as well.
On the Kindred penalty, which was a big one, is there any, I mean, he was pointing a lot of guys on defense. Does he have any explanation? Do you know what happened, or is that
when he jumped off sides?
Yeah, I mean, is there anything else to it?
No. Yeah, I mean, that's concentration penalty. I mean, it doesn't, at the end of the day, you got to do that better. Understand the situation. It can't happen.
Greg Williams Friday was questioned a lot about the depth that Peppers plays.
Mm-hmm.
He defended it, and like he's been doing it all the time. Peppers seemed real down after the game, and I'm wondering if that role is agreeing with him. Are you guys concerned about that?
About him being as deep as he is?
Yeah.
No, I don't think we're concerned. I think if you've seen any of our players down after the game, it's not because of the style of our play. It's because of losing. And I think that's what it is more so than anything. I mean, our guys go out to every game with the expectation of winning and want to win. And I would be disappointed if they wasn't disappointed after the game. So I don't think it had anything to do with how he played or how deep we play him or anything like that.